Now the next is exchange instruction. Exchange instruction is basically used to swap the data from source and destination. Basically, exchange register again has two operand. First one is your destination, second one is your source. So exchange command will move the data of source to the destination and destination to the source. Basically, this will swap the data between source and destination location. For example, here you can see that exchange AX comma BX. This command will execute and show the result that the data value stored in BX register will move to the AX and the value of AX will be moved to the BX register. Similarly, exchange AL comma CL will move the value of AL to the CL and CL to the AL. In this case, if you use different size of register, again it will be an error. If, for example, if you write exchange AX comma CL, this will be an error because the size of both registers is different. So you need to use a same size register for that purpose. Whereas next command is exchange 32H comma BH. So here you can see that one is a constant value and other one is a register. The value of constant can be moved to the register, but register value cannot move to a constant. So again, this is not allowed. This will be an invalid operation. This is not possible. Next is exchange 2345H in a square bracket comma SI again in a square bracket. This is basically memory to memory movement. As I have told you earlier that memory to memory data transfer movements are not allowed. So this movement is also cause an error. This will be an invalid operation. Then you can see a table. This is a basically summary that what type of movements are allowed in move and exchange commands. You can see here that on one side you are seeing a source operands, and on the other hand you can see the destination operands, and this table is representing that what type of source and destination movements are allowed in case of move statement. Similarly, the table is representing for exchange. So this is basic a summary that what type of movements are allowed in data transfer instructions. So moving to the lab task 1, basically this is the lab task. You are just required to copy this code in your emulator and execute it step by step, and by execution each statement you are required to fill out the following table. Here you can see that as instruction is given, you need to write all the values of each register and you need to check what are the update after executing each register. By using this small code, it will eventually help you out to understand the data transfer instructions. So you are required to fill out the table and execute each statement and find their output and write it over in the table. Later you can also see that there are few tasks to understand and grasp the concept of exchange and move command. I'll explain each task one by one, and you are required to perform these tasks by your own, and later on we can eventually discuss the task and problems and issues in the next online session. Here you can see that first there is a task that you need to swap the content of SP and DI. So you need to perform this task without using the exchange statement. So you can use an intermediate move instruction for that. First you need to place a copy of SP register in any general purpose register, and similarly you need to make a copy of DI to any other general purpose register. Then you need to swap the values of SP and DI. The ultimate task is the value stored in SP should be stored in DI and the value of DI should be stored in SP, and you are required to perform the task without using the exchange command. Second task is to swap the content of SS and DS. So as you know that you cannot directly swap the data, so you need to use any intermediate things to swap the data. So you are required to perform that. The value stored in SS should be placed in DS and the value stored in DS should be placed in SS. So basically you need to swap the content of both the registers. Later in lab task 4, you need to swap the content of memory locations, which cannot be possible using an exchange statement or directly using move statement. Basically, memory to memory transfer of data is not possible. Definitely you need to use an intermediate locations, intermediate data, intermediate general purpose data registers to swap the content of from a memory location to another memory location. Task number 5 is swap the content of upper and lower byte. Basically, our data is stored in BX register. You need to swap the data of BL to BH and BH to BL. So this is again the requirement is you need to do that swapping without using the exchange instruction. So definitely there is other data transfer instruction available with you, that is move. So you will be using move instruction and some intermediate general purpose register to perform that task. The last one is exchange the lower and upper byte as per the given instructions. The data is stored in some memory locations and you need to swap the data as per the provided condition. So I hope you can easily perform this task. I have already give you a brief overview in the online session about these tasks and move and exchange one. The recording is also available with you to sort out and to facilitate your queries. So before coming to the next online session, you are required to perform all these tasks by your own, and then if you have any query, we will first sort out that queries. Later on we will move forward to the next lab. Thank you. That's all from my side.